Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Father's Day edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Sunday, June 18th. I have at most 1 hour, so I am going to jump into this very, very quickly. Also, I'm sure all of you don't want to be watching me on a day like today. Those of you that are, thank you. And, you know, it's it is a holiday here in the US. That's kind of serious. So I'm going to jump into this very, very quickly. Nothing new on the blog, as always. I'm still on the list to speak in Ukraine. There's a very high likelihood I'm going to be canceling that. I haven't even told a conference yet, but it's just the big world of Bitcoin has been crazy. I will be speaking in Prague. That's a definite. Still waiting for them to update my picture, but this event is not going to happen until October. And on my website, there is a list of conferences that I'll soon be updating. I might do like a whole European tour around September, October, go to a bunch of other European countries. Surprisingly, considering how much I'm not really that big a fan of Europe, but hey, there's Bitcoiners everywhere. All right, let's jump right onto the market. I'm going to do this very, very quick, and then there's lots to talk about with the user-activated soft fork and what the latest news is, and of course, Bitcoin and Litecoin. And I will be talking about Litecoin today. All right, S&P 500 daily chart. Nothing is really new. Please watch. Oh, I didn't save it. Damn. I really got to start saving these things. So on last video, I took a copy of this box and I moved it right here. I did this last video, so now I got to do the same thing all over again, okay? And then I took a copy of this text and I moved it right here, okay? Markets do not pop this way. Anyone that's out there that's right now, anyone that's out there that's screaming that the stock market is in a bubble, I believe they know nothing. These people know absolutely nothing about markets. These people know nothing about trading. All these people want to do is sell you their newsletters, okay? Anyone that is screaming right now that the market is in a bubble imminent for a crash. Markets never, ever, ever crash when you have, what, 12, 14 days in a row of exiting at the very top. That's not how markets crash, okay? Markets crash, you have 1 day. If you're lucky, you have a couple of hours, okay? Sorry, if you're lucky, you have 1 day. Otherwise, you have a couple of hours. You have a couple of hours to exit at the top, and then you're totally screwed, okay? So, no, the markets are going higher. It's very, very interesting that, I mean, I'm starting to pay attention to this indicator way more and more and more. And now Bitcoiners are learning about this indicator thanks to me. Right here on this 9, that actually so far is kind of like signaled the top. We went up, we hit this 9, and we're kind of been like in a no man's land, but we are going higher. I'm even going to grab this arrow. I'm going to copy it and put it right here. You know, I have no idea when we're going higher, but we're going higher. Oh, I guess I'm not sure why it's doing that, but anyway. All right, having a bit of an issue here with my mouse. My mouse is fighting me. I don't know why. Either that or someone's taking over my computer. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, guys. I'm also sitting out here in the sun. I'm back at the trailer, at the cabin, and anyway. Maybe I'm in the sun and not in the shade, so things are iffy here. Hold on. And I don't really have much of an option otherwise. Oh well, nope, staying this way. Sun just came out just as I started the video. Never lucky. Okay, here's the weekly chart. Again, we went above. This could have been the top. It could have been the top. It could have not like the top for the year, but it could have been a sustained downtrend because it was a very clear top. You had a couple of hours to get out at the top, and then a couple of days to get out near the top, and then it started to fall. It didn't materialize. We went back. Once we made a new high, boom. I'm still waiting for it to go all the way to 2650 and above on the S&P 500. All right. All right. I'm gonna save this time and close it and close that. All right, gold. Gold's been like the redheaded stepchild of all the things I analyze. Oh man, I'm like 50 on gold. I don't know why this is zooming in on its own. I am not doing that, guys. So I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. I take off my keyboard. It's one of the reasons why I like. Oh man! All right, sun's not going anywhere. I picked a bad spot. This is not working at all. Anyway, I don't have time for this shit. All right, let's get back to this here. I don't know why it's zooming in on its own. I'm not the one. I'm doing this, but I'm not the one that was zooming it in. Anyway, okay. So here we go. Gold. Once we had this double top on the daily chart, I was expecting it to go higher. It did not go higher, so it started to go down. I don't believe in double tops, but here was the conflict, right? The initial target to go all the way up from this cup and handle was all the way up here. But I put this big red flag in there saying that gold at weekly trend line resistance. So now we go to the weekly chart, and right there, that was the gold weekly trend line resistance. And here it is again. We went above the trend line resistance, which is why I kind of started thinking that gold actually had a chance. But those of you that have been watching me for over a year now know that I am very bearish gold, very bearish gold. I'm still expecting it to go sub 1,000 in gold. But when we broke above, the trend line, I started to change my mind, and I said, oh man, is it possible that I'm wrong? Is it possible that we're not going to go sub 1,000? I have to start thinking about gold bullish now that we were above the trend line. Now that we're back below the trend line and about to go under this Fibonacci, then, you know, those thoughts have been fully eliminated. We still have downward movement in your momentum indicators, a downward movement in the MACD. I don't have time to like redraw this red line. We're back under this trend line, and it's bearish. Like the weekly chart trumps the daily chart. Even though the daily chart says that the double top is not going to be sustained, we're going higher, the weekly chart is telling you otherwise. The weekly chart is bearish, so I am going to be overall bearish because of this double top. I did not have a clean short entry on gold. Gold remains a no trade, and gold becomes a sell right here around 1,200. The moment gold is coming back down to 1,200, gold becomes a sell to 1120, creating a double weekly bottom, which is not going to hold. It becomes a sell again down to 1,000, creating a double bottom, which is probably not going to hold, creating sub 1,000. I am back to this view. I am back to this red arrow until we are back above this trend line. It's going to stay that way. The price might get squeezed right here between the trend line and the Fibonacci line, and then down we go. That's my current expectation of gold, but I'm not sure enough to put money on it yet. There'll be plenty of time to short gold if it starts to do what I think it's going to do. Oil is doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. It's staying in this bearish channel. And overall, I have been bearish oil for a little bit of time. Nothing more to say there. The euro is not moving at all. We had this big doji today, but this doji, it came with a little bit of a top. The doji wasn't very clear at the top of the trend. This doji would have been much clearer if the next week would have been lower. I still think the euro has a little bit of life before complete annihilation. Okay. So let's keep an eye on that. Plenty of time. The British pound is having its own problems. I've always been bullish the pound versus the euro. Right now, this is also in a no trend, no trade zone. If this goes above the yellow line, that means the euro still has some life in it left, and the pound is somewhat done. All right, let's close that. All right, here we go. Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart. This is the zoomed in weekly chart. I'm afraid to like zoom this out because it always starts to zoom in on its own for some crazy reason. Let's zoom this out and take a look. Look, it's a little bit top heavy, but it's not that big a deal, okay? It's really not that big a deal. So this is where the weekly chart needs to be seriously zoomed in. And this is, and I've been tweeting out this indicator a little bit, been tweeting out this indicator. Like, by the way, people are starting to hit me up. Oh, thank God, shade. You'll see what I mean when I turn my camera on. People are starting to notice what I've been talking about with this indicator, and people are starting to call me up privately to talk to me about it, and for my consulting services of 0.1 Bitcoin per hour. And in order for me to explain it to them, in order for me to like send them some links, in order for me to like give them some guides, I do have a very long guide on this indicator that will teach it to you. So if you are interested, feel free to hit me up. I did screw up in my prior video or two. I drew this red line in the wrong place. Bitcoin confuses me sometimes because there's never any gaps. The close is always the open because Bitcoin is a 24/7 market. This indicator wasn't designed for a 24/7 market, but it still works. It works pretty damn well, okay? So this week, we would have got a price flip and a potential trend change if we would have closed below this red line. I was drawing it down here before. That was my mistake. It's this red line. This week is almost over. The week is going to end in about 6 hours. Okay, in 6 hours, the week ends. So there's no way we're going below this red line this week. Next week, I'm going to draw this line right now. I'm going to draw an orange line. Get an orange here. Okay. Next week, the line is going to be right here. Okay. Right here. A little bit lower. There it is. Okay. Basically, the close of this number 7 and the open of this number 8, they're always the same value in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a 24/7 market. Okay. Next week, we need to be below the orange line closing in order to begin considering bearish momentum in Bitcoin. This week, we needed to close below the red. We didn't. Next week is below the orange, okay? I think I've went over this indicator plenty of times on my last couple of videos. Please check that out. If you want to learn more, I'm offering you that service. So connect with me privately. My email is not a free service, but a service. My email is in the description of the video, all right? That's the weekly chart. Save that, okay? Brand new coin liquid index. Okay, this is going to update at around 8 or 9 p.m. I really like this index. It goes all the way back to 2010. I'm a big fan. I haven't really drawn any arrows on this lately. I published this on TradingView. I got this green arrow right perfectly, pretty much to the day, multiple months in advance. And the reason why I'm looking at this indicator is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to throw that same numerical numbers to see the weekly charts are still bullish, okay? The weekly charts are still bullish, but they're not telling you to buy back in. This 9 told you to take profit on your bullish trade, okay? If we close below the red line tonight, which we're not, or we close below the orange line tomorrow, it's going to give you a hint. It's time to sell all of your, it's time to sell your position and be in cash. Now, of course, I would never do that. I'm not selling any of my Bitcoin, but that's what the indicator is telling you. It's telling you that if this becomes a red 1, like it did right here, the moment it becomes I have an orange, but it's really red. Once this orange 1 comes up, it's time to go into cash. And then there are indications of when to go short. But right now, this is still take some of your profit and wait. You might go back in. You might have to sell the rest of your position. So right now, you took some profit on the 9, and now you wait. Let's do this daily. Let's put this daily indicator in, okay? And I can also send you my code, by the way, right? So this is another thing that's part of the tone-based consulting services, my scripts, okay? So I really don't want to get sued for this. Almost no trading software has this except the Bloomberg terminal. Only professional traders pretty much use this. And that's why I had to write the code myself. And the code is not perfect. If there are better coders out there, there is definitely bugs in this code that I know, because it's very, very difficult to program the bottom side of it. The top side is perfect. The bottom side can use some help. So if there are financial programmers out there, you can help me fix this code to make it perfect, but it's not easy. I mean, I couldn't do it, but I'm not a good programmer. Anyway, so what does the daily chart tells you? The daily chart told you to take your profit right here. It told you to, well, it actually never told you to go short. It never told you to go short. It told you to take your profit, told you to go into cash. It told you to buy back around here, told you to take your profit right around here where this 9 is. And then on this one right here, on this big day, this big bad day right here on the 12th of June, it told you to take your profit. I mean, it doesn't mean sell all of your trading bullish trades, but it says, time to take some profit and let's see what happens. It actually did tell you to go back in. And then like the next 2 days later, it told you to get the hell out. It told you to get back into cash. And then around here on the 14th, it told you to short. It told you to short Bitcoin. And right now, you're technically still short Bitcoin, but you're at a losing position with this indicator. Now, it's very, very dangerous to short Bitcoin. It's dangerous to short all of the altcoins, okay? So you may not want to short it, but you may still want to use this indicator as a guide. Now, what I kind of want is for this to get to a 9. See, it's 1. You see it right here? This is the daily side, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just need 3 more days. Today's candle is going to show up. Today's candle is not here yet, okay? I think today's candle is going to be a little bit lower, okay? Now, what we need is, we would need the candle number 9. They're consecutive, right? So this would be number 7, 8, 9. So 3 days from now, we would need a close below 2,400 to get a red 9 indicating a buy or a continuation of the lower trend. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. We'll find out when we get there. But when you put this indicator on the daily index, it's actually still telling you to stay short Bitcoin, which I personally would not advise, but this indicator is. And or just stay out of the bullish position yet, and it will signal when to buy back in. Okay. All right. Here is my normal daily chart. Today is a little bit of a rough day. It looks like we bounced. I do not see this low broken to the downside. It looks like we did bounce. So the daily chart is looking great. There is no resistance from here to the all-time high. Once we're back at the all-time high, it'll create a double top, and we'll probably go beyond that. Okay, here's the hourly chart. Before I talk about the hourly chart, I want to talk about my tweets. Okay, BTC. Okay, so that's the last one I tweeted out. Nope. Perfect, right here. Okay, so I tweeted this out the other day. When did I tweet? I tweeted it out on the 16th. I tweeted this out 2 days ago. Okay, this was, where's my mouse? Okay, and I even told you guys, I drew these arrows right there, okay, when I drew the arrows. So I drew these arrows, and I said, look, if we go back below this red line, that's a problem. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. We were sitting right here. Anything could have happened. I was saying that the most likely outcome is for us to go and get stuck right here at this yellow line, which was 2450 on Bitfinex. If you're not using Bitfinex, adjust the price to your exchange. They're all a little bit different, okay? I expected us to struggle around this line, then eventually break above the line and break out, okay? So that's what I tweeted out on the 16th, 2 days ago, okay? Don't save. Let's see what happened yesterday, okay? Now, the good news came out. The miners started to fight back against BitMain. It didn't even pull back as far as I thought it was, and we started to go up. We still struggled around this 2450 and then broke above it. So the moment we broke above it, like I tweet these out when I wake up, guys. I mean, if I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, I would have tweeted it out earlier, right? I mean, I started looking at this like before this big green candle, And then I got distracted, you know, people texting me, people emailing me, and I'm like, oh man, I took the screenshot, you know, this hour had just started. I'm like, God damn it. Like I could have given people a little better heads up, but that's okay. So when I tweeted this out, what happened? Okay. So I wrote right here, daily chart looks clean. The flash crash to a great buy point. Oh, I misspelled buy. That's normal. I misspell everything. At the top of the channel. Okay, because look at my prior tweets. I called this right here a great buy, and if it would have broken below it, then you get the hell out and you wait for 1300. Now that didn't happen. The 1300 obviously didn't happen. We bounced immediately. You had about 2 hours to buy in. This is how lows are made. This is how lows are made, guys. They're not made by giving you 8 and 9. Oh wow, zoomed in way too much. Lows, and I don't know what's going on. I think my computer is just like overheating. Look, I'm gonna make this bright something, bright red, I guess, or whatever, maroon. Look, this is how lows are made. This is how lows are made. This is how highs are made. Okay, you don't get 3 days to decide if it is or isn't a high. You'll get a few hours. And if you're sleeping, well, too bad. Okay, the market isn't there to accommodate your ass to buy the high. Well, it will accommodate you to buy the high and sell the low. It does that very, very well. It's not going to accommodate you to sell the high and buy the low. Okay, you're not that lucky. The world is not that lucky.